We have a real treat for you today. One of our alums is back, and I promise you, you're in for a special opportunity here to hear from one of actually my former students who was sitting back here not that long ago, it seems like to me. So I'm going to have Ashi come forward and introduce our speaker today. So let's give it up for Ashi.
Happy Monday, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. David Knox, a member of the Baylor class of 2002, a member of Baylor's Board of Trustees since 2019. David was born as the fourth of 8 children and came to Baylor as a 9th grader. As the inaugural recipient of the John Roy Baylor Scholarship, his tuition would be covered for his entire high school career. David went on to become a star running back in football and was a member of Baylor's track team, competing in 4 events and helping the team bring home a state championship in 2000 and again in 2002. David was a diligent student and went on to be accepted as Yale University, where he played football and ran track as well. He graduated from Yale with a degree in mechanical engineering and currently serves as the Senior Director of Operations, Planning and Performance for Arakia Energy, with the largest renewable natural gas producer in the United States. David lives in Westchester County, a suburb in NYC, with his wife and their 2 young children. Please join me in welcoming Mr. David Knox, Baylor class of 2002, to the podium, please.
Henry, are we good? Can you guys hear me? Yes. All right. Good morning, Baylor students, faculty, and staff. Good morning to the nearby lectures being given in English, science, and math. Good morning to the fish, the squirrels, the birds I can hear singing now as I'm speaking. Good morning to the alumni and parents lingering around, breathing in what is Baylor Spirit Week. Good morning, Baylor babies, Baylor pets, Baylor guests, whether stranger or friend. Good morning to the books, the desks, the chairs, and the stained glass windows coloring the pews you sit in. Good morning to the spiders, the earthworms, and the bees. Good morning to the grass, the flowers, and the trees. Good morning to that pending fall chill that just may give your bones a shiver. Good morning to the light glistening off the Tennessee River. Good morning to the sun, the air, the wind, and the rain. Good morning to the passing barge or cargo train. Good morning to you. Good morning to me. Good morning, the entire Baylor community. My name is David LeBron Knox, Baylor class of 2002 and winner of the 1998 Poetry Recitation Contest. No applause necessary, you're welcome. All right. So I stand here before you hoping to have somewhat of a conversation. So if I call on you, ask a question, feel free to raise your hand, volunteer. You might need to come forward if I ask for that as well. Interestingly enough, I see a lot of strange outfits today that resemble some of my favorite movies. I think I encountered a Bobby Boucher, there's like a Billy Madison out there, Happy Gilmore, which is definitely one of my all-time favorite movies. Anybody else feeling cold? Yeah, let me fix that. I don't like being cold. Anyway. All right, the name's Chubbs Peterson. And happy you're gonna give up that golf, give up that hockey and come play golf. Just remember, it's all in the hips, it's all in the hips. Tap it in now, just tap it in. Yeah, I absolutely love Spirit Week, if you can't tell. So my wife and I, we spent the past 2 weeks binge watching a 4-hour Netflix series. I did say 2 weeks, 4 hours. When you're pushing 40, working full-time, working overtime as a parent of a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, sometimes sleep just creeps up and bites you. But anyway, this documentary was entitled Live to 100, The Secret of Blue Zones. Don't love the name, but anyway. It took us a good while to watch it, but that's okay. In it, Dan Bueller seeks out 5 regions across the world where he finds centenarians. And these centenarians is a person who has lived at least 100 years. And his purpose is to seek why these centenarians have lived such healthy, long lives. So when Rev messaged me and asked if I would deliver a chapel talk, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I'm no scholar or world record holder with stories of determination and perseverance. I'm just a small town boy from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who just happens to have the right kind of friends who would invite me to give a speech on a Netflix series. So I'm sure Rev was probably scratching his head right now. But throughout the interviews, all of the centenarians would attribute their longevity to healthy eating, being happy, having strong faith. The list goes on. But one thing that was consistent throughout them all was the fact that they were a strong community. So, young people of the Baylor community, not so young people of the Baylor community, I'm here to tell you that through my extensive research of watching Netflix movies, you are all going to live to be 100 plus years old. Because if community is the secret to long life, this is the strongest community there is. So no worries there. All right, I can't really make that claim. I have not really done enough research, and it is pretty far-fetched. But okay, no one's going to argue that community is important, and it clearly played an important role in their lives. So, whether we live to 100 or not, I will, in all seriousness, claim that we will all benefit greatly from our Baylor community. So today I'm here to share with you what I've drawn from my time as a student, an alum, and now a trustee to provide you 12 words to live by to benefit most from your community. Now, why 12? I considered doing 1,893 to commemorate Baylor's founding year. Don't know if I can define that many words. I also challenged myself to try one, but I can't even eat one Lay's potato chip, so that was a no starter. Anyway, settled on 12. Jesus had 12 disciples. There are 12 numbers on the clock face, 12 months in a year, and 12 days of Christmas. 12 felt right. Okay, so 12 words to benefit most from your community. Word number 1, talk. Communication is the key to every relationship, whether friend, family, coworker, roommate, coach. Having a discussion over your thoughts and feelings, especially when they revolve around your interactions with one another, is always leads to a faster solution. And talking also works in relationships and dynamics that are not just relationships. Think about the last time you labored over a math question. When you attempted to explain why you were stuck, suddenly the solution presented itself. Word number 2, listen. And listening, y'all, is not passive, but rather an active exercise. It means you don't sit quietly and think about what you want to say next. You truly need to listen and actively concentrate on what the other person is saying. Number 3, motivate. Lady Gaga has a song called Applause. I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause. I am not a singer. However, I must confess that I too live for the applause. People have always brought out the best in me, and you add a cheering, encouraging voice to those people, suddenly I have an extra incentive to perform just a little bit better. I don't believe I'm alone in this arena. We all know about the advantage of playing on our home court. Your teammates will dance, sing, shoot, and swing. Your classmates will write, balance, calculate. They'll dissect, research, and punctuate with a little bit more energy, knowing that you're pulling for them. I bet your teachers and coaches will also improve their approaches if they get a clap or a smile when they deliver a lecture or pep talk with style. Word number 4, laugh. I feel better already. Laughter strengthens your immune system. It burns calories. It diminishes pain. It quite literally defends against stress, and it boosts your mood and the mood of all those around you. Okay, number 5, idealize. As a parent of 2 fairly bright kids, I actually have to try to keep my ideology about their greatness at bay so as not to disappoint myself or them. However, when it comes to this community, idealize away, ladies and gentlemen. Convince everyone within and without about how great you find this Baylor community. Your views, even if they are slightly exaggerated, they might convince a student today that this slight embellishment is something that will be good for the community. That student will return tomorrow as a teacher, alum, or trustee And that idea planted back then will become the new initiative, and fingers crossed, that actual feature of this place. Number 6, embrace. Embrace it all. Now, I am clearly not a poet, despite my short-lived success as a freshman champion. But in my opening poem, we took notice of things ranging from the books and the bees to the windows and the trees. We took views of the mountains surrounding this city to the never-failing energy of Hattie and Miss Kitty. See, there I go again with the poetry. Anyway, the reason I incorporated such obscure things is because they're all a very important part of this Baylor community. Each day you arrive here, take a minute. Smell a plant or a flower that you normally pass by. Look and gaze from an angle that you haven't looked before. Take a walk through the athletic buildings or the fine arts buildings and study what's on the walls. I encourage you to really start to behold the beauty of this place because, trust me, it doesn't get much better than this. Word number 7, expand. Expand your circle. I had the good fortune of attending this awesome high school. I later had an opportunity to attend a university which allowed me a direct portal to what I would claim is the entire world. That portal I'm referring to were my classmates, my peers, and my teammates. Okay, in college, I have one regret. High school as well. Okay, that's not quite true. I definitely have more than one regret, but let's focus on the one right now. We all have to live and learn. But that regret was that I did not expand my circle. I had roommates and teammates that came from all of East Asia, much of Africa, Europe, India, South America, and let's not forget North America. But I rarely stepped outside of my circle. Now, today, whenever I get a vacation, I'm trying to travel to all these places in the world to take in their culture, their people, to learn their languages. I could have definitely taken advantage of my time when I had those students around me if I would just have a conversation. Let's talk about it. So today, I encourage you to take the time to have a discussion, to meet someone who looks different, speaks different, maybe even eats differently than you. You'll be surprised at how much you have in common. Trust me. Number 8, compliment. Saying something nice is always the right thing to do. This is probably the easiest way to kick off expanding your circle too. I love your shoes, love your hair, and oh my God, I love your laugh. Making someone feel good has the awesome effect of making you feel good also. You can trust me on this one too. Word number 9, compete. Healthy competition strengthens all participants. So if you're number 4, push to become number 3. If you're number 3, go after number 2. If you find yourself in position 2, well, fight hard to become number 1. And if you are currently right now sitting in that first chair, you better get vigilant and train too. You're going to find all those behind you are now in front of you. This cycle will repeat, and ultimately the entire community grows smarter, bigger, faster, stronger together. But don't kill me, power. All right, number 10, add. The numerical sign for addition is a horizontal line intersecting a vertical line intersecting a horizontal line, also known as the plus sign. That same sign is also the universal symbol for positive. So that's it. Be a positive addition. Add positivity to everything around you. This campus generates good energy far beyond its footprint. Whether you realize it or not, the world is watching you, Baylor School. Let's make sure it sees our best, always emanating positivity. And that outward positivity starts right here on our grounds between one another. Number 11, act. And no, I don't mean join the Baylor Players. Well, if you're good at acting and you want to join the Baylor Players, by all means, join the Baylor Players. I rarely missed a show when I was a student here, and they were all amazing performances. But I'm talking about the first 3 letters in the word action. Everything you do throughout the day involves an action. So, in these moments, when you act, I challenge you to act with kindness. Be positive, be supportive, be nice. I'm especially talking to you popular cool kids. Yeah, that's right. If you didn't think about somebody else when I said cool kid, that means it's you. You're probably on your way to becoming homecoming king or queen. So I am talking directly to you right now. You have an influence over your peers that is very strong. If you make the effort to act nice and kind, those you will influence will follow along. And the final word, the 12th word, to benefit most from your community is believe. Believe in one another. There's a popular saying, teamwork makes the dream work. One of my most defining moments as an athlete came in my sophomore year at the state finals, track meet. It had come down to us versus NBA and that school across town. The final event of the track was the 4x400 meter relay, and with us sitting in first place at the time, all we needed to do was finish fourth or better, and we would be state champions. A few minutes before that race kicked off, one of the original members of the team got sick, couldn't compete, and Coach McMahon had decided that I was going to step in and run the 4x400 meter relay. Now, I had not run a relay or a 400 meter race in 2+ years. I was very nervous about this and honestly did not want to do it, but he gave me no choice. Anyway, the race kicked off. Our first leg, who was a phenomenal athlete, would go on to run Division I track and cross country, handed out the baton somewhere between second and third. Leg number 2 did not perform quite as well, and it was then my turn to step onto the track running third leg. So I'm doing my best to encourage him. Let's go, baby, come on, come on. My encouragement did not work all that well because I would receive the baton in dead last. But the moment I grabbed that baton, it was like a scene out of a movie. Thing went dark. The cheers from the crowd went silent. It was just me and the 2 lines delineating my lane. I took that baton, switched it to my right hand, and I was out. By the time I got to the first curve, I had caught 7. I'm going. By the time I got to the back straight, I had caught 5, 6. I was in 4th place, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of back stretch, I had moved all the way into 3rd position. I could feel the victory. But suddenly, there's this phrase my coach in the AAU would use. It's called a bear jumping on your back. It's when a runner goes out too fast and comes in too slow. Well, that bear jumped on my back, and it brought a few friends. I think Yogi was there, the Bernsteins, Smokey, a mama and a daddy who had just finished their porridge with their baby. I went from this to just falling across the exchange zone. I'd failed. I would have given my teammate the baton and back in last place. I made my way to the infield, put my hands over my eyes, and I wanted to cry. Well, I don't want to give you a sad story today because that anchor leg would run a miraculous anchor and catch 7th, 6th, 5th, and 4th place and would finish in 4th place. We'd win a state championship. What I learned from that moment, though, was that I believed I had to do it all on my own, as opposed to believing in my teammates. I'm sure had I believed in my teammates, I could have run a much more controlled race, and our anchor would not have had to perform a miracle to win. So I challenge you today, Baylor community, believe in each other, and you won't get attacked by bears. All right. Now we've come to the end of our 12 words to benefit most from our community. I know there were a lot, so I don't want you to forget them, so I've come up with a little acronym to help you remember. So Rev should have found me 12 volunteers. If those volunteers would make their way to the stage right now. As you come, you'll find there are numbers on the stage and these papers. Just stand behind a number. You can go ahead and pick up the card and do me a favor, make sure the letter is facing your chest, okay? We don't want to reveal it yet. Here you go. You just go ahead and take that one. You take this one. Wait, don't. You don't want to see it yet. Keep it facing. Face it. Let it face you. Let it face you. We're gonna wait for the great. Who doesn't have a card? You're gonna come to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need one more. Let's go. Okay. In order to remember the 12 words to benefit most from your community, idealize. You can turn it around now. Compete, embrace, believe, act, laugh, listen, motivate, expand, expand, compliment. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're right. Add, talk. Ice ball me cat. Hold on, I think we can do a little bit better than that. Let's try this again. Okay. Number 1. You go to number 12. You step over to 1. You stay right where you actually, you go to number 14. You come, no, yeah, right here on number 4. You stay right there. Actually, come to number 5. You two switch. You're going to go to 11. You come to 8. You come to 9. It's okay, we'll get there. You come here to 11. No, sorry, you're 11. You stay right where you are. You come to 13. You go all the way to number 2. And you go all the way to number 3. All right. To benefit most from your community, the 12 words to live by are compete, act, talk, believe, laugh, add, motivate, embrace, listen, idealize, compliment, expand. Cat, blame, lice. Oh, that's terrible. Let's try this one more time. Everybody huddle up, huddle up, huddle up, huddle up. Huddle up. All right. It's okay. So you guys are going to go ahead and I'm going to send you somewhere. I'm going to send you some number. You're going to go to that number, turn the card to face you. I don't want them to see it yet, okay? And then when we go through this last time, you're going to hold it up high, all right? Okay, let me see them for right now. Okay, you go to number 1. Where are we? You go to number 2, 3, 4. You're going to go to number 6, 7, 8. Remember, keep them facing you. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Facing you. It's facing you right now. All right. The acronym to remember all the words to live by to benefit your community. Believe, embrace, act, talk, motivate, compete, compliment, add, listen, laugh, idealize, expand. Let's go Big Red, baby.
Wait, what did
Thank
it say?
you. Oh. Beat Macaulay. Let's go Big Red. Hey, thank you. You guys are great. You're good. You're good. We're done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baylor School.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That is my time, ladies and gentlemen.